You're welcome to start off just like all the way back. Start by letting some good deep breaths flow, huge inhales. Good, easy exhales. Hopefully you were lucky enough this week to see the beautiful, full, blue super moon that we had. It was absolutely amazing to, just kind of breathtaking to get to be a part of witnessing that this week. So that became my inspiration, the moon. So I was thinking of the different phases of the moon and how the moon is whole, even when it's in the shadow phase of it. Or the new moon phase, it's the darker part. It's like the night of the soul that we pass through sometimes, but yet it's still showing up even in its shadow. And then it starts to gather more and more light until some days it's absolutely radiant and inspirational to all of us who get to witness and be a part of it. So that's what I was thinking of for our intention for today. Imagine that it's like we're starting off class with the new moon. Like maybe our bodies are a little stiff, things are feeling a little bit more rough and ragged. It's like the shadow part. But little by little, as we stretch through one area and then the next, and find patience and presence and breath through our class, through our journey, imagine it's like we're inviting little by little more light into our body. So by the time we're at the end of the class, we can shine because we feel so good. And then as we head into the rest of our day, the people around us that need some light, we can shine for them. Kind of like how creatures can hunt in the night so much more effectively when the full moon is happening. There's a lot more activity able to go on. It's because of that beautiful light. So that's our intention, our thought for today, being like the moon. So let's start off just nice and easy, working on our spine and working on our hips. So start to take the knees into the chest, rock around just a little bit. Nice and easy to get started, left and right. We'll take a nice easy twist. Both knees fall over to the left, arms spread open. Give the back muscles a little bit of time and patience to start stretching. You'll notice some of the stretch-focused poses will hold a little bit longer today. Just working with patience, love, self-care. So one bonus breath here. Easy exhale. The knees start to lift up and they float over to the second side. One more breath in. Good, easy exhale. And then as the knees rise back up, let's take an easy happy baby. Moving on toward the feet. The knees start to get pulled open. If stillness is what's best through the hips today, just enjoy the stillness. If you're in a mood to rock, that's also perfectly fine. Even adding extension through one leg, through one part of the rock, and then the other leg. Beautiful. As we release the legs, drop them all the way back down to the floor, planting them close to glutes. We'll take a few bridge poses. With an inhale, scoop the tailbone up, rise up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, roll back down, reverse it. Take a few of those. Inviting in light, movement, circulation through this area of the body. And one more breath cycle. Inhale up. Exhale down. From there, sliding the heels all the way along, we'll take a banana shape, kind of like a crescent moon. So right ankle crosses over left, and then legs scoot off the left side of the mat. Up above head, grab right wrist and scoot the shoulders off the left. Stillness, just ease in this position is fine, or you can push against ankle and wrist connection, it's your preference. Imagine this as like the tiniest sliver of the moon starting to shine. It's waxing. Feel that side rib area opening up nicely. One more breath in. Easy exhale. Release, uncross, and then recross the other direction. Left ankle over, legs scoot to the right. Grabbing left wrist, arms scoot to the right. Same quality as before. If you pushed against ankle and wrist before, do it again. One last inhale. Exhale, uncross, we're back through the middle of the mat. You can either roll like a ball a few times to work your way up, or you can stretch the fingers to the back wall, take a huge stretch. Inhale, and then exhale, roll one vertebrae at a time to rise up. Beautiful. Eventually we'll settle into a nice hamstring stretch. Legs can be a little bit bent if you need, especially since it's early in class. Try to allow the spine to just take an easy shake up and over. This can be an opportunity to roll the head closer to the right shoulder. Roll closer to the left shoulder. And dropping back down ultimately. And maybe even heavier. And starting to rise. Bring the left leg in front of you, just an easy tuck. And then the right leg we cradle out through the shin area, rocking out the hip. Try to lengthen the spine upward if you can a little bit more. Good. We'll take a twist from here. So if this is comfortable for the knees, drop the foot to the outer part of the thigh. Then grab right hand or right or sorry, that's left hand or left elbow around the knee, lengthen spine up to twist. If this isn't working, just drop to cross leg and then just grab onto the thigh instead. Releasing this, either knee stack or shin stack. I guess cross leg would be a third choice. Take just a moment with the legs in this position, more or less knee stack or shin stack. Clasp hands together. Place the knuckles under the chin. With an inhale, the elbows rise. We tuck the chin in. Exhale, elbows slowly come a little bit closer together. They don't have to touch all the way, but let that throat area stretch. So inhale, elbows open, chin tuck. Exhale, slowly bring it a bit closer together. One more. And as we release, take the clasped hands behind the back of the head. We're dropping the weight of the head, the weight of the arms, everything down in front of us. We're not trying to pull with the strength of the arms. It's just a little bit of extra weight for the head. Stretch through the back of the neck. And then releasing hands, continue to drop the spine forward into the hip, glute stretch. Rising up. Switch the legs, so right is just resting on the ground, baby cradle for left. Try to lengthen the spine upward as we rock it. If that feels good, take it to the twist. The foot tries to plant the outer part of the thigh, but just shin stack the spine if you need to as well. So this time it's right hand or right elbow hooks around the knee, lengthen spine up to twist. Forward, the legs come into either that shin stack, knee stack, or cross leg, whatever position is working to comfortably maintain while we sit. Again, clasp hands, place them under chin, and this time reverse the breathing. With the exhale, drop chin down, elbows lift. Inhale, elbows close. Take two more. After that second one, open up the hands this time. The fingers are hovering above the floor to each side. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Head gently rises, left ear goes to left shoulder. And then head rises. Ease the way down into the forward fold again. And start to rise. Good. Uncross the legs. Let's come to kneeling. Do intuitive movements that feel helpful. So it might be shifting the hips around a little bit since we are just in a deep hip stretch. It might be cat-cows. It's circles. Lots of options here. Okay, let's start to work our right foot to the top of the mat. Once we get the foot in that place, sink the hips forward as far as the hips can go. Good. We're going to begin to work a little breath into this. So, a nice inhale. And start to straighten the legs out forward. Exhale, hip shift forward. Play with the breath. If the breath feels better, exhale, bowing. That's perfectly fine. Big thing is just synchronizing breath to the movement. If you wish to extend the length of the breath even more, as you go forward, you also have the option to arch up for a brief crescent before dropping down. Still want to move slowly with the breath, so not rushing because you're adding in full breath. Whatever version we're taking, let's do 2 more. Pause with the easy hamstring stretch. Start to head this knee underneath the body. Switching it out, left foot steps forward. Maybe take a few cycles at the beginning, just low, hands connected with the earth the whole time. Start to feel how you can synchronize the breath to the movements, forward and backward. Maybe you're adding in some crescent arches. Exhale. And last one, whatever you're doing. Ending eventually with the hamstring stretch. And this leg comes back behind us. Planting the fingers spread. We press down through all the pads of fingers, all the knuckles, everything. We start to rise up into downward facing. Pedal through the legs if that feels useful. One calf attempts to stretch and then the other. Enjoy this as long as it's still helpful. Eventually we'll make our way up to top of mat, forward fold. Next inhale to rise. Elbows open to each side, chest pushes forward and through. Huge inhale. Exhale, forearms touch around the spine back. Inhale, open, like the full moon shining. Exhale, close, new moon. Another 3. 2. 1. Inhale, circle arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fingertips down, right foot steps to the back of the mat. Leave the right hand on the floor, left hand reaches up to the sky. Touch the moon. Dropping the hands close together, continue to walk the hands to the long edge of the mat from the toes of you. A nice wide angle forward fold. Hands planting close to the left foot, left knee bends. Either a high side lunge or a low skandasana. Yeah, there we go. So your choice. Maybe hands are connected to the floor. You're sinking low into the hips. Maybe you're playing with balance for this one. Balance is almost more like the full moon shining. Beautiful. Drop the hands, switch to second side. Same variation. Maybe hands low, maybe hands balancing. Let's drop. Come again into wide angle forward fold. And walking hands back up to the top of the mat. Up onto the back toes. We're taking the same shape we were at before. Right hand planted. Left hand reaching to sky. As the left hand drops down, this left foot swings up and back, three-legged dog. Stack the hips, bring those left toes behind your back. And good. Both feet plant. Kneeling plank or full plank. Gently lowering down to the earth. Chest. Sphinx. Chest gets pulled forward and through. Right ear drops to right shoulder. Roll chin down to the chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And rise. Reverse that full circle with the head. Drop left ear to left shoulder. Roll chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. And head up. Beautiful. Heading back for a child's pose. A couple of good breaths. Sink the hips back. Whenever you're ready for downward facing dog, rise the legs, the hips up. Heading up to top of mat when you're ready. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Right hand drops to right thigh, left hand circles up and over. Like a nice crescent shape of a moon. And rise. Switch it out. And rise. Inhale, circle up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fingertips down. Left foot steps to the back. Plant the left hand so right hand can reach to sky. Dropping the hand down, turn to this long edge of the mat. Is there a new variation you'd like with your hands? Maybe walking through the legs a bit deeper, or maybe grabbing onto ankles to help invite the chest closer. Is the neck allowed to be loose here? Hands close to right foot. Skandasana with right, that nice low lunge, or higher if your needs needed. Same variations, maybe a new one. Maybe you're balancing the hands at the heart, or maybe you try something new this time, elbows closer to ground. Different phases the moon can be in. Now, and exhale, we switch sides. Coming through the center. Deeply bend both knees and then walk one hand to each thigh so that you can lean forward into it, pressing the hips open. Beautiful. From here, dropping the hands back down. Walk the hands back up to top of mat, hop up onto the back toes, and the right hand reaches its way back. As the hand plants, we swing this right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Send the toes behind your back. Get that hip to stack. Good. Both feet plant, kneeling plank or not. You can shift forward, lower down to belly. Option for the Sphinx like last one, or a deeper cobra if you feel ready for it. Then we'll take the same neck rolls, this time starting with the left. So head starts lengthened, drop left ear to left shoulder. Roll chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. And up. Reverse it to the right. Roll chin down. Left. Up. Beautiful. Shifting back to child pose. Lock the hands off the right side of the mat. Lock hands off the left side of the mat. Hands back to the middle, a couple of breaths. Downward facing dog. Now way into top of mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Right elbow winds under left, eagle shape. Sitting back into fierce pose, or already start to wrap the right side over. Leaving the elbows wound, straighten left leg, float the right knee in front of you. Option to kick that leg forward muscularly. That right leg sweeps under and back. Balancing variation of warrior 3. Soft blend of the foot. Elbows float up. Imagining this beautiful crescent shape of a moon. Beautiful. Reversing that, release the hands, clasp hands together behind back. Fall forward into shoulder stretch. Hands release, dropping to either side of front foot. Front leg tries to straighten the best that it can with an inhale. Exhale, deepen through the bend. Good. Straighten and bend a few times, synchronizing the breath. And the next time the leg straightens, try to stay as straight as it can get. And with the knee bends, circle the arms up. Touch the hands together and try to trace the hands back a few more inches. Inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Left elbow to left thigh, extended side angle. Rising up, warrior two, and reverse. Right fingers to right leg. Arch up and back like a crescent. Rise. Taking it to half moon pose. Left hand cartwheels down to land at an outside angle. Stack hips, stack shoulders. Lift the right leg as high as you can. Easily soften down into forward fold. Inhale, rise, circling arms up. Exhale, hands down to heart. 5 times. Inhale, elbows open, chest forward and through. Exhale, forearms touch, round side back. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And then left elbow winds under right. Set up the shoulder stretch, shoulders down. The elbows lift a little. Either fierce pose, sitting the hips back, or eagle right away, crossing the left thigh over. Standing with right leg, floating left knee. Option to extend that leg muscularly. And kick it under and through, warrior 3. Soft landing, elbows lift. Releasing hands, clasp behind back, bow forward. Drop down, surrounding either side of front foot. We start to synchronize our breath through extension of the front leg and bending of that knee. Just follow the speed of your breath, however slow that is. The next time is straight stay. Bending through the front leg again, sweep the arms up. Picking palms together, try to trace the hands even a couple of inches backwards. Up. Exhale, open warrior 2. Extended side angle. Warrior two. Reverse. Warrior two. Cartwheeling down to half move. Easy softening down to forward fold. Inhale, hands slide up the shins. Exhale, fingertips make their way back to the floor. We start to work the feet to back of mat. Child pose, down dog, or an optional flow. And whether we're kneeling or in down dog, we'll transition to a pigeon. So right leg comes through to the space under the chest. Left leg scoots as far back as possible. If you want to be arching for any amount of time, that's fine. If you want to drop straight down to elbow sleeping pigeon, that's fine. Find the shape that works for you. You relax and open through the hips. More breath in. Out. Transition back to down dog or kneeling. Have some movement in the hips either way. Easing out the tightness there. Only when you feel ready for left leg to come under and through, head to that side. Same thing as before, maybe arching for a bit or maybe directly down to elbows. Okay. Last child pose or down dog or kneeling, just to ease some of the tightness out of the hips once more. Beautiful. And I'd like to wrap up with a little bit of legs up the wall. So we'll scoot our glutes close to the wall. Yeah, scoot mat up to the wall, everything I like to have glutes as close to the wall as possible before I swing my legs up, so that way you don't have to do the scooting game afterward. We'll do a few different positions together, and then as we eventually head toward our Shavasana pose, if you want to stay for the Shavasana with legs up the wall, you can choose any of these variations we're going to play with, or you can come down to a different Shavasana when we get to that point. So starting off, a couple of breaths just with the legs upright like this. Make sure your hips are in contact with the floor, otherwise you'll want to scoot a little further away from the wall. So the hamstrings soften here. Allowing legs to open out wide. Just try to peek that heels are equidistant from the ground. One leg isn't going significantly further than the other. Sometimes it's nice here to grab onto elbows and let the elbows rise up above the head. Just allowing chest to open, shoulders to stretch a little. So the breath continue to flow deep and full. We'll start to take the legs into cobbler's pose. So bottoms of feet work their way together. With this one, sometimes allow the knees to open. Good. So with this one, sometimes I keep the arms up where they were before, but sometimes it's nice just to have the hands with a gentle pressure on the knees, inviting them to open. So your preference, whatever feels helpful. And here's where we'll start that transition back to Shavasana. So if you like cobbler's pose here, or legs wide, or legs directly up, any of these options for legs up the wall would be fine. I can even grab a sandbag if you need it. You're just gonna wave at me. Yep, you got it. But if you prefer just a normal Shavasana away from the wall, that's also fine. So know that you've got that freedom. As we start to transition toward this Shavasana state, just imagine all these stretches that we've done all over the body have invited light in little by little. And now your breath during Shavasana is filling in the rest of the gaps. So it's like we're becoming the full moon by the end of our Shavasana. So just take deep, full breaths. Imagine that light. Beginning to deepen the inhales. And the exhales. Introducing movement back to the body. Shifting the arms out in ways that feel good. Perhaps eventually taking a fetal position. Doing that rush of blood back into the legs. Staying here for a few bonus breaths. The legs are refreshed. This extra sudden flow of oxygen. Imagining the legs are topping off with light after having been upright. 2 or 3 more good deep breaths right here. Eventually coming up to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Your hands joined together in front of the heart. And we imagine ourselves glowing. It's not the sun type of glowing that's harsh to look at. It can hurt our eyes. The moon, the more yin type of glow. It's just simply the reflection of the light that's there. So we imagine ourselves having opened up, turned away from the shadow, opened up to this light. And here, as we move on to the rest of our beautiful day, we can be that light for all those around us who might need it at this moment. So with this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.